it's an incredible privilege. You know, when I talk about my privilege, I'm really talking about that navy blue passport. You know, I don't think a lot of people realize like everyone can't just move across borders, you know?
Yep.
So, first and foremost, like I have a passport that works in most of the world. So, that right there is very deep. Um, and secondly, for me, this is why I have the relationship with wine that I do. Um, that is a language that I learned. You know, I can sort of speak Spanish. I know how to move in Mexico on my Spanish, but the wine shit, I'm I'm fluent. You know what I mean? Um, and so what that means is I've been able to go to other countries where I don't actually speak the language, like in remote parts of France, where it's like I don't know any, I can't speak French, but I speak wine and they speak wine. And so when I'm in the cellar with them, when I'm tasting with them, you know, we have points of reference. I'm asking questions about the soil, the vines, they're answering me in French. I'm asking questions in English, but we're having a conversation because we speak that language. And so it's allowed me to move in parts of the world in a way that I haven't been able to or wouldn't have otherwise been able to sort of access. And I think that food is the best way and ought to be the preeminent way of trying to connect with a culture, because it is the most essential part of not just any culture but the human experience, because it's the only thing that we all actually have to do. We don't all have to be religious, we don't have to be in musical or any of the other things that sort of define culture around class, education, everything. But food is the only thing that we all have. And so that if you want to understand a culture, then that's where you need to look.
Yeah. And also sounds like, yeah, some of those connectivities that we have, especially because, as you were mentioning kind of at the top of this, we remix food a lot of times. So we can see how we've connected each other through the food that we have or that we've now developed off of what those origins were of the food. But you mentioned too, just, yeah, having that privilege to travel. And I've been very privileged as well, maybe not as many places outside the country as you have, but I used to be on the road about 150 days a year. And that's a privilege to be able to do that and see all these different places. But that also means that you're constantly on planes. You're constantly in a location that, may not be used to. I remember even
Chris, that sounds stressful to me, man. That's too much traveling.
Oh, I was gonna say, I woke up in a hotel one time and I was like, hold on, where am I? Did I get kidnapped last night? I was like, oh no, that's right. I checked into this hotel last night. I just forgot.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, I mean, that's what happens when you're on the road that much. That's too stressful. It's too stressful.
But that's what I was going to ask you, because you have to travel a lot yourself. Like, how do you keep that balance for yourself moving around these different spaces? Like, you're doing it for altruistic reasons, but at the same time, you still have to take care of yourself. How do you manage both of
those? Like many, the pandemic was the turning point. That was the switch up for a lot of us who were really on the road like that. That's the short answer. I really started to value being more restful in that time, in value time for contemplation as part of a business strategy, actually, like really focusing. And I know why I had to build a business on the road. And I mean, I just explained that, right? I was hustling magazines out of a satchel. But at a certain point, and it was around this point, we had already filmed High on the Hog. We had already wrapped up this. We had a deal with iHeartRadio at the time, a podcast deal that was wrapping up. the magazine thing was up and running, I was like, there's like, why am I really doing this? Actually, am I on the road because it's what I've grown to know, right? Or is it really serving me? And I think I just reached a point where I was like, I don't think this is actually what's in service of the business. So that was very clarifying for me and very helpful. But for people who are at the stage of the journey where they do need to be on the road, I would say things that really help: uh, stretching your lower back and core. When you get out of the car or the airplane, it sounds really simple, but you have put your body in a precarious situation for many hours. Your circulation is off, and then you go, let's say, have a meal, or maybe miss a meal. Now your body chemistry is off. So I just find stretching and hydration to be very, very like helpful and practical things to do. I travel with a yoga mat, and I'm always on my back, like putting my feet in the air, um, or just like standing straight up, trying to touch my toes. Because when I was having back problems from traveling a lot, I realized that it was because my core was weak. And it wasn't like my core, like I need to do sit ups. It was like I just need more strength actually in my lower back. And that strength and agility actually came. I don't even do yoga. I just bring a yoga mat and stretch out my back. And it's helped me a lot. It's actually also improved just like my normal posture as well. So those are some practical tips.